What is going on, guys? Welcome to the garage gym. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, so why I created this space was out of necessity primarily. So I live in a small town and it's a half an hour drive one way or the other to the closest gym. So as an online entrepreneur, I needed a space where I wasn't spending time driving to the gym, have an hour workout, drive back, shower, eat. It's like a 3-hour ordeal at the end of it, right? So I needed to create my own space to make my time as efficient as possible and just make sure I can make it my own way as well and be productive with it. So big ups to Jason Brown, who was my primary inspiration for creating this space. If you have any gym related questions or equipment related questions, definitely check out Jason. He's the expert. I'm not the expert at this stuff. So check out his page and his Instagram and we'll get into the tour. All right, guys, so first thing I want to start with is actually the floor. The flooring and the paint and the walls, because I've had garage gyms in the past houses I've lived in, and I just kind of piecemealed equipment together, put horse stall mats on the ground, and it was great. It served a purpose, but for this gym, I wanted to do it right. I wanted to do it right from the get-go, and that started with getting the paint and the walls right and getting the flooring right. So the floor, as you guys can see here, I've obviously got a little turf strip that I wanted for mobility. I wanted for a sled and just some different movement type stuff I wanted to do on there. And then I got the different mats here. They fit together. They're little squares, as you can see. And I hired a company to come out and cut it specifically for this size because I wanted to make sure that it fit. There was no gaps in between or anything, and it looked good. I wanted to do my best with this type of garage gym, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Honestly, guys, the most expensive thing in this gym is actually the flooring. Nothing else was more expensive than that. But in my personal opinion, I think it makes or breaks your garage gym. This is one of the most important things. So definitely happy with how it turned out, and highly recommend getting this done in the best way possible, depending on what you guys are looking for. All right, guys, second thing I want to talk about is the paint. So my dad and I probably spent 2 weekends doing the paint. We did like 3 or 4 coats. Really happy with how it turned out. The cool thing about this space is at this portion of the gym, we actually have really high ceilings. So doing things like wall balls, and I was gonna get a ring set up here too, which I didn't, but there's so many like room to play with up here, which is awesome. So with the paint, it's a little darker in here than I would have liked, which we couldn't have realized until we finished, but really happy with how it turned out. Wanted to make sure that it looked good on video and different camera angles I was gonna get for different companies of businesses that I own, but really solid so far. Here is the meat and potatoes of the gym, the dumbbell rack. I bought this from a company, it's just a couple hours north of where I live. Big pro tip when you're getting stuff like this, if you can pick it up from the shipping factory or wherever it is, saves you a ton on shipping. So that's what I was able to do, just threw all these dumbbells in the back of the Jeep and drove them here, saved me a lot of money. So if you guys are in the market for dumbbells, see if you can do that. But what these are, they're just rubber hex dumbbells, no brand name or anything like that. I'm gonna throw them around a lot. Some of them might be outside in my driveway, so I didn't really want to get a high quality brand name type dumbbell. But these are perfect. We have 5 pounds to 75 pounds. Then it came with the racks as well, which I'm really happy with. And yeah, they work great so far. So this is the cable single tower cable machine that I got. Honestly, I just got this off Facebook Marketplace for like $200. Someone who just lived half an hour from here, they actually delivered it as well, which is awesome. If you could buy used as well to kind of complete your space, highly recommend it. It's not as smooth as I would like it to be, but in terms of how it fits the space, I wanted the single tower. For what I use it for, it gets the job done, and I'm super happy with it. So that's the single tower cable machine. Obviously you got Rogue foam roller as well. Wanted to get a high quality one of these. Then I've got the Rogue curl bar. Use this for skull crushers, use this for obviously curls, and then sometimes bent over rows depending on what angle I want. Love this bar, got it a couple weeks ago, been using it a lot. And then we've got the mini fridge right below me. This is where I keep some of my soda water, some of my electrolyte drinks, especially in the summer. It gets really freaking hot in here, so having some nice cool drinks while you're working out really helps. So this box-like thing was actually our electrical box in here. It was kind of a mess. There were wires everywhere, and I built this box to code around this electrical box to kind of hide it a little bit and just make the space a little bit more visually appealing because it was kind of messy beforehand. So this was really important. Unfortunately, it took a little bit away from my space. As a garage gym owner, space is at a premium. But I'm happy with how this turned out. There's a little bit of storage at the top too. Obviously have some greenery on there, some cool art. And then I got my Bose speakers up there too for my workouts, which I love. And then down here at the bottom, we've got my kettlebells. I'm a huge fan of kettlebell work personally, especially just using the rest of the driveway for like farmers carries and some different types of carries and walks that I do. They go from about 10 pounds all the way up to 75 pounds at the end here. And then I've also got a 100-pound in the corner of the squat rack. Love the kettlebell work, even first thing in the morning. Sometimes I'll wake up, have a coffee, come here, do a kettlebell flow just to get my body moving and my blood flowing. And then I can go into my calls and get the day going that way. All right, guys, so this is the Rogue adjustable bench. I'm really happy with it. Obviously, I use a bench for a lot of different work when I'm working with dumbbells or bench press, some different modalities I have in the garage gym here. A lot of different angles that it has, not just with the back support, but also the seat support too, which I love. 3 different angles down there. And then also, as you can see, color coordinated it with the walls and then with the squat rack, which I'll show you here in a second. These are really heavy though. Thank God they have wheels so you can move them around easy, but getting a good solid bench was definitely something I wanted to invest in and make sure was a staple inside of the space. All right, guys, so now we got the Rogue Monster Light squat rack. So it's just got the 2 beams on either side. That's all that comes with it. And then the legs, as you can see. This is about, don't quote me on this, but 9 feet, I think. So it works well in this area because obviously we've got super high ceilings and I wanted to be able to do muscle ups, although honestly, I never do muscle ups, but I wanted to be able to do muscle ups if I wanted to in this space because of the high ceilings, which is awesome. Yeah, this rack honestly is really solid. It's one of the cheaper ones that Rogue has to offer, but it's all I need and it works incredibly well. I've also got these Rogue collars that are magnetic, which I love because then I never have to lose them because they can easily get lost in the garage gym. And then in terms of the bar, I have no specialty bar, like especially on Rogue, they have all kinds of bars and they're rather expensive and you want to invest in a good bar, which I totally understand. I did not. I bought this bar from Facebook Marketplace from another guy just down the street and I got two nice 45 bumper plates with it as well, so it was a sweet deal. I'm definitely going to invest in a nice bar at some point, but this honestly does a trick for now and it'll be next on my list. All right, guys, so we got the Rogue box here as well, which I love for a couple different reasons. Number one reason why I love it is because I store stuff on it. I store my phone, my computer, I'll answer emails on it, I'll sit on this bench, answer emails on it. I put my water on it, a lot of different things. My notebook I'll put on it and it kind of acts as my mini desk. So that's the first reason why I love it. Second reason why I love it, which is obviously what it's designed for, is doing exercises, step up, some different exercises I love using with it as well. And then you can use it on the taller, not sure exactly what the dimensions are, but you can use it on the taller side or the shorter side, which I love. And yeah, just a really good centerpiece for the space overall. So these are the bumper plates that I got. These are the Rogue Echo plates, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I've got 10 pounds, 25 pounds, 35, and 245s at the back here. And then I also got these separately, a couple 2.5s, 5s, and 10s. These are actually really nice. I really don't like these 10 pounders, to be honest. They're a pain to change. I like the smaller ones. They're a lot simpler to change. But overall, these Rogue Echo plates are really nice. They're a lot cheaper on Rogue as well. They have the metal ones too, which are nice if you're looking for those. But for me, this is all I needed and fits really well with my space. So this is the Rogue Velociraptor dip bar. It's massively overbuilt. You absolutely don't need it if you just have a normal dip bar. But I saw this and I had to have it. It has beautiful knurling on start to finish on both of these hand supports. And then when it comes to the actual support to the beam, really solid. I hate dip bars where you're a little bit woogity when you set it up. So this is very solid, which I love. As well as these hand supports, you can unscrew them and you have 3 different options for place points if you want them closer together, if you want them further apart, which I also really enjoy because I'll change it up a little bit for dips. Also, as you can see, it's angled down a little bit. If you want to change it to the side, or if you want to change it more upward position, you can do that too, depending on the specific angle that you want. So you have so many different choices for your dip hand placement, which I enjoy, versus just the regular dip. Like I said, definitely don't need it, but I love the customization with a piece of equipment like this, and highly recommend it if you're in the market for it. So we've also got the med ball, 20-pound med ball. Use this primarily for wall balls, and this is the perfect spot for it because of the high ceilings. So this is a good warm-up piece or Metcon piece, depending on what I'm doing for that day. Then I've also got the Rogue sandbag. So in here right now is approximately 150 pounds. It has the capacity for 200 pounds, which is awesome. My coach initially told me to buy one of these, so I got the biggest one I could get, filled it up with 200 pounds of sand, thinking that I could do it. Could barely budge the thing. So I had to take out like 50 pounds of sand and work my way up to 200, but right now it's at 150 pounds, and I really enjoy working that into some of my training as well, which is great. Okay, so this is the side door to the garage, and it just goes outside. I get questions all the time on Instagram because it looks like it goes out to like this beautiful forest and this beautiful area where it's just immersed in nature. It's literally just a tree line, like a very small tree line, and then my neighbor's directly there. Like I could throw a stone and hit his shed. But it looks beautiful when I'm sharing it on Instagram, and I try to have this door open as much as I can just to look at that greenery and get the fresh air. Then we've also got the TV. I initially bought this, putting it here, thinking that I was gonna watch some really educational, in-depth YouTube videos, some different online courses that I'm taking, and just screen share some of those training modules. I cannot focus on my workout and focus on that at the exact same time. So as soon as I started doing that in my workouts, this immediately went out the window. So primarily what I have on here is one of two things. Number one, this is Tofino, Vancouver Islands, one of my favorite spots in the world. Used to live here, and I'm always checking out the surf. Surfing is one of my favorite things to do. I love having this on in the background, or I'll have some sort of like live fireplace going as I'm doing my workout. Love having that in the winter as well. Just love that having going on in the background. And then sometimes I also have my daughter hanging out in here as well, my 2-year-old, while I'm working out, which is awesome because she hangs out with me. She has, I don't have them in here, but she has little plastic weights as well that she'll throw around, which is great. And then when she starts to get tired, but if I'm not done my workout, I'll put on like the Wiggles or something like that, and she'll sit on the floor. She'll watch that for 20 minutes while I finish my workout, and then we're done for the day. So use it in different ways in the gym, but I like it. It's a good piece. This is the Rogue Slicer Sled. I actually use this almost every single workout. I absolutely love this piece. As you can see, it's not as robust as some other sleds that Rogue or other companies have. It's a little bit lighter. It's about 65 pounds. I usually throw on 3 plates. Right now there's only 2 plates on here. And then what I bought is, this is a rope from Rogue, and it's primarily for rope climbs. Obviously they want you to hang it like on your ceiling to do rope climbs. But I put this underneath the weight on the sled so then I can do rope pulls with the sled. So usually I'll go down there, I'll do rope pulls for a certain amount of weight, and then when I'm done, I pull it all the way towards me, then I'll push it out. And then if it's summertime, which it is right now, I can push it all the way out to the driveway and back, which I love. But if it's wintertime, I don't really have that much space. There's only about 20 feet here, just with the dimensions of the garage. So I'll usually load up more weight so I get more of a stimulus, and then it's a shorter distance, but it gets the job done. So absolutely love the sled. If you have the space for it, and obviously turf, highly recommend it. Yeah, this is one of the main things I wanted for this gym, and absolutely love it. Now we got the back extension. Love this piece as well. Use it quite often, work my lower back and my glutes. I just got this off Facebook Marketplace as well. It was brand new, but the person was moving, so they were selling it at a great price, and went to pick it up. Unfortunately, it takes up a lot of space in the garage gym. You're limited by space, but this is something I knew I needed just for what I'm working on, lower back, glutes, hamstrings, and it's really helpful. Then we've got the exercise ball as well, which is good for my core, different movements, stability movements and balance movements I'll use with this, especially on the turf. which is awesome. And then we got the newest addition, which is the Rogue Echo Bike. I love this piece for different conditioning workouts and including it in different Metcons that I do in the gym here. I also love that I can open up the doors and I can put it outside in the nice weather and the sun. It does take up a lot of space in the garage gym, so you want to be careful with different cardio equipment that you're buying because of the space. Next thing I want to get is a Rogue, Concept 2 ski erg, just because I'm sitting down all day with work and you're also sitting down here. So having something where I can stand up, I think would be a little bit more beneficial for me, but love this piece. Absolutely thrashes you if you want it to, depending on what kind of day you're having. And yeah, highly recommend it if you're in the market for it. So this is my board. It's not necessarily in the garage gym, but I got to talk about it for a second because when it comes to zone 2 cardio, by far and away, this is my favorite way to get it done. We live on Georgian Bay, which is a beautiful, big open water bay. You can paddle with the winters nowadays, almost any time of year. And this is by far and away my #1 choice when it comes to getting my aerobic work done outside. Paddleboarding, if you guys aren't into it, highly, highly recommend it. Usually this is up on that ledge that I just showed you, but in the summer it's out here because I always throw it on the Jeep and we go out. But yeah, absolutely love paddleboarding, one of my favorite sports. All right guys, so that's pretty much the garage gym, as you can see. And I love these types of videos on YouTube because they give you ideas, right? On what you can build for yours, or if you're even in the market for one, give you inspiration for that. This I built for me, obviously, and for my space and for what I wanted to do. You guys can take pieces of it and apply it in your own gym scenario and what you guys are looking to build in your own garage gym, but build it for you based off what you guys need, based off what your budget is. This is just what works best for what I'm working with now with my health and fitness and with what the space looks like. But for you guys, yeah, take it as it fits in your situation. And if you have any questions on this stuff, just write it down in the comments. I'll get back to you right away, and we'll see you guys in the next video.